Well, everything is going according to plan so far today. We had some horses to train. I wanted to get a look under the hood, a couple of babies that were acting up or maybe made mistakes last week. Maybe it was a couple that fell behind I wanted to catch up with. We'll talk about them. Really proud of the way the horses raced last week, right up until yesterday. Kenobi was a winner in Saratoga. I'm Fancy looked very, very good, winning Saturday night. First over, I was floored, really impressed with the way she raced. Everybody last week, a lot of horses had great starts to the season. Mounts for All, Born to Dance, all had great starts last week. So very happy to get up this morning. Obviously, the big news is the solar eclipse. You know, you can't look at the sun because it's harmful to your eyes. When did that ever change? They made making announcements like people didn't know you're not supposed to stare at the sun to begin with. Yeah, and I see. I'm on my way home through Buffalo, so Niagara Falls, I guess, is a hotbed for people coming to look. Listen, I get it. If you're a photographer or you're interested in astronomy, great. Otherwise, it's just 3 minutes of darkness in the middle of the day. I don't plan on looking at the sun. It's not like this is the rarest of rare occurrences. I suppose it is if you're an eclipse enthusiast. It's pretty rare. But for all us other people that just hope to see the sun out, not looking at it, but just for it's out so we're warm, not really a big deal. So, it wasn't that way when you were a kid. I don't know how old you are that are watching this, but when I was a kid, we had eclipses. Here's the glasses or whatever, but mostly just don't look at the sun. We don't need to. Trust me, I believe you. When the moon passes, there's 3 minutes of darkness and it's cool, I believe you, it's there. I'll let somebody else take a video of it and I'll watch the video. I don't need, it's billions of miles away. I don't need to really partake in the solar eclipse watching. Anyway, get up this morning. I'm on my way to the airport, right? I didn't really want to drive 8 hours to Kentucky, and I would like to find a way where I can frequently go down and make sure everything's going all right, right? And I'm always torn because, my flight today is $400 or $500. My hotel now, I had to fly today. It was so weird. I looked at tomorrow's flights, about 3 times as much as today's. So it's like $400 or $500 today. Literally $1,200, I think, was the cheapest flight I could find tomorrow. It was so weird. Why? It can't possibly be this eclipse thing. But I don't know what it is. Why everybody's so high on traveling today or tomorrow? I don't get it. But whatever. So my flight today was $400 or $500. The room tonight I think is $120 or $140 at the track. And it was another weird thing. I tried to rent a car yesterday, all morning, all afternoon. Couldn't rent one. No cars available at BNA. BNA is Nashville Airport, right? No cars. I'm like, wow, this is so weird. So I'm trying to compare Lyft or Uber to get from the airport. It's almost an hour. It's like $80 US. It's a little more than I wanted to pay. Okay. And then I looked last night at 9 o'clock. Oh, tons of cars now. Tons of cars. So I got a minivan or something rented for today. So I'm all set. The flight there, the minivan or whatever is rented. The cheapest vehicle outside of a moped is rented, and the room for tonight. So off to Kentucky. Interested and going to get up tomorrow. We're going to qualify Lonely Lakewood. He's probably ready for a mile and 2.2, 2.3. He's not ready to rock hard right now, but I was going to be there. May as well qualify him slow. So Lonely Lakewood's going to qualify tomorrow. We Paycheck Princess Racing today. Obviously looks like money. Yo Mister. We have someone else also. Can't think who it is off the top of my head. But tomorrow we have the 2 qualifiers, Lovers Play, who I did really want to be there to qualify. Lonely Lakewood will get him qualified, and then really excited about Kings County. Brace for Landing is in with 3 Point Blue Chip tomorrow. That will be very interesting. I asked Amy jokingly who she was cheering for. So 3 Point Blue Chip and Brace for Landing. Julie and Andy Miller have him in Oak Grove to race in that race. We have Brace in that race. We also have Militant I liked what I saw last week. I'd like to see some progression from that, and I suspect we will. And then Green Tea, just want to see a flat mile. Man, he really impressed me in the qualifier, but not without his shortcomings also. Very green colt. There's nothing wrong with that. So a lot going on today and tomorrow. Got up this morning, trained insider trading. I only wanted to go a mile 2:08, 2:10, but I wanted to scoot her along, let her trot out of there pretty good, and then let her finish up good. I was happy with what I saw. So she is ready to rock. She's in Thursday race 1. Pull the Shoes is in Thursday race 2, and then of course Irish Ray is in Thursday race 12. So I'm not going to pick up any drives in between 1, 2, or 12. Don't tell mom and dad, but I may put Chris Lems on Irish Ray. I don't think I want to sit at the Meadows for 3 hours waiting for Ray. Nice horse. 3 hours worthy? Not really sponge worthy. You guys will get that Seinfeld joke. So off to the airport, as I said, insider trading trained well. I went with He's a Great Guy today. I wanted to get a look. He was awesome. 32, first half 17, last half 15, no problems whatsoever. Now, just quick enough to probably keep him at a Wednesday's training because we plan on maybe dropping the hammer on a few of them on Wednesday. So probably just going to go back Saturday with He's a Great Guy. I went with Dancing in My Socks. Again, I thought he was okay. His gait was good. He went plenty fast. He's also going to be a scratch for Wednesday just because I went 1 mile and 22 with him today. He was good. And again, I thought a little lethargic, but again, I have to, even though he frustrates me a little bit, I got to be fair. He's a big giant colt also. So I just have to pump my brakes on that also. Also important, Southwind Idex on the right line a lot more now since we took those flip-flops on. Very, very telling. I would say his knees are quite a bit open and hurting him. Put the flip-flops back on. I only went 3/8 of a mile. I could see what was going on. And for us to get a training mile into him Wednesday, it would be very unfair to try and train him this morning at any speed. So I went 3/8 of a mile. I got to look at what I wanted to see. Talked to the blacksmith about changing some shoes back to flip-flops on Southwind Idex. But ultimately, I was happy with him. Something to keep an eye on. On the line perfectly throughout his winter training. Took the flip-flops off, started to creep over on that line, and was really on it today. So I suspect his knees are hurting him a little bit. This is normal. This isn't abnormal. Who else did I go with today? Anybody? I got to see Flashfly jog today. She had some bark missing from her. She was in a little bit of an incident last week, but she's fine. She jogged good also. Amy went with her. And I think I went with one other horse. I can't think of who it was. The first horse was Great Guy. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was happy with everybody I saw today. Happy with the way things are progressing. Any of the horses I was a little bit concerned with for Wednesday, I went with today. I got what I wanted to see, and I think we made adjustments accordingly. Speed of Sound, a couple of my partners saying, what's wrong with her? Nothing. She's a giant. She went through this massive growth spurt. She's feeling good. She's sharp as a tack, and I'm not training her right now. I'll train her. I'll go out and jog her tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but Wednesday morning. If she feels good, I might turn her and go a mile in 2:45, 2:50 with her. We'll keep her active, for sure. But I'm not training her in 2:20, 2:25. She's not ready to go there just yet. And quite frankly, she doesn't have to. She has a smattering of stakes. Smattering, I think that's a word. Smattering. Anyway, it doesn't. Smattering of stakes throughout the summer. Nothing major. But again, when it comes to New Jersey, it's kind of feast or famine. You're either top of the food chain and ready to rock, or don't bother even going. So I think there's lots of racing for her. There's lots of stuff to do. But again, this is the type of year, this is the time of year when we start to pivot a little bit with our horses. Are they going to Kentucky? Are they staying in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York? Where are they going to race? Who might be getting them? When might they be leaving? What's that timeline look like? We start to put together the pieces of the puzzle for 2024 into the summer. Very happy, as I said, with what I saw from Ontario on the weekend. Really, really blown away by a couple of them. I keep coming back to the Betcha filly. I have reached out to the staking service about putting her in that diamond whatever stake that's down there. I think this filly has a lot to offer. Chicago Hall, again, blown away by him, how quiet and how surgical he goes about his training for a young horse. Very, very nice colt. Gaslight Hall made that little break. I don't care about that. He's fine. Everybody that I saw go was fine. Very telling, right? And really happy overall with the way the babies look. Hearing great reports out of Florida, great reports out of Pennsylvania for Country Dancing and Captain Incredible. So everything looks good and is going according to plan right now. Now it's the 3-year-olds. Wednesday morning, not only are we going to train the babies, but we're going to cut the 3-year-olds loose. I can't be there, obviously, with the early start on Thursday afternoon at the Meadows. I can't be there to qualify, and we would be somewhere around right where I want to be, or even maybe a week early from the qualifying. So I said to Jason, rather than qualify twice, I'm going to train Arson, probably mile 57 on Wednesday morning. I'm going to train Memory and Imagination somewhere around 58, 57, 58, 59 on Wednesday. Pickpocket, I'll probably hang it around 2 minutes because he did have a little more invasive procedure done, but he's ready to go also. Mel Gibbs-Swan, there's the kicker. I don't know. I know that Sedona Hill has to qualify, which is a big ask for Jason, right? He puts a lot of pressure on himself, and quite frankly, that's why he booked off of Sweeney tomorrow night. He doesn't feel, and I don't blame him. I know exactly where he's coming from. It's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, right? And he just felt that maybe Luke would be a better fit. I don't know if I agree. I don't think I do, actually. I hope that he doesn't feel pressure because of any pressure I'm putting on him. But so be it. You know, Jason's a hard worker. Jason Merriman does a lot for us. He's been a huge, huge addition to us over the last 2 years. And if he doesn't feel comfortable driving Sweeney, then so be it. Don't drive Sweeney. It's fine. And as far as qualifying, I am going to ask, though, that he goes with Sedona because he knows her. Last thing I want to do is see another break, but I don't think we're going to. I should have actually gone with her this morning. That was a misstep on my part. But I'm sure I can ask Jason just to go a very slow mile with her tomorrow morning with all the gear on, the hobbles, the race bike, the head poles, and the chain on her, and make sure that she's okay. And I think we'll do that tomorrow morning and get her qualified on Thursday. Now, in addition to her, do we go with Mel Gibbs-Swan again? Do we go with Mel Gibbs-Swan Thursday? He's ready to go. Let me tell you that. So the more I talk about it, the more I'd say, yeah, I think he's ready to rock on Thursday. My take on the entire situation was maybe, I don't know, hopefully I don't have to go back to Oak Grove next Tuesday if it looks like Kings County's dialed in and ready to rock. Brace for Landing now. We got those wrinkles out of him. He's ready to go. Militant's come up with a good mile. Green Tea has got a flat line, is ready to go. Even Lovers Play, Lonely Lakewood. As long as everybody feels comfortable and is ready to go, I don't think I need to go back down there again. If I believe there's a need for me to go with Kings County or any of those horses again, then I'll go back down. If I don't go to Oak Grove, we'll likely qualify potentially at the Meadows. If I do go to Oak Grove, we'll likely qualify at Northfield Park. There is a non-winners of 4 to start out the season in a number of places. 4 Pickpocket, 4 Memory and Imagination, but I want to be in a position where it's not easy. No, there's no races that are easy, but an unstressful but flashy looking mile is what I'm looking for. Their first start of the gate. Exactly what Dominic and I talked about the other day. When we put our horses in the box, you saw it with Mounts for All, you saw it with I'm Fancy Like, whether they're good, bad, or otherwise. I want them on their toes when they go behind the gate. I don't like wasted starts. So when Pickpocket goes behind the gate, when Memory and Imagination and Arson's a little trickier. As I said the other day, there's no non-winners in 9 or 140 life. It's going to have to be some sort of a 3-year-old patched together race, I would suspect, at Plainridge or at the Poconos, maybe somewhere like that. We'll see how that plays out, but we also likely have Tymus on my side looking at the same type of timeline, so he may just hang out with the Meadows and see what they offer us for a race for him. Not putting him in the open or the backup class. I do want to put him in where he's competitive, where he's got a good shot, and that's a big ask. And if we can't, then we'll just qualify him twice, school him once, and right to the stake races. So that's what's rattling around in my empty head today. Happy with what I saw this morning. Thoroughly pleased with what I saw over the weekend and last week on the track. The horses are really doing their work well. This is the time of year where I come out of that depression and that funk from stake payment season and into full-on planning mode and getting our sophomores race. So it's an exciting time of year right now as we start to see the babies take shape and the 3-year-olds start to go through their first races of the year. So with that, I'll let you go. I am off today. I won't be here tomorrow in Ohio. I will be in Kentucky tonight. I'll be in Kentucky, Oak Grove, obviously. Oak Grove tomorrow morning. Qualifiers, I believe, are at noon. and then I'll be leaving right after the last race. I have a 7:30 flight out of Oak Grove, which gives me about an hour and 40 minutes to get an hour down the road. Should be a cakewalk. It never is. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Don't stare at the sun. If nobody's ever told you in your life, don't stare at the sun today. You could end up blind. Take care.